Give thanks to Satoshi for magic internet money.
National debt is higher than it's ever been. Household debt is higher than it's ever been. People are in debt like up to their eyeballs. They don't have savings. Like he hasn't really changed much for the average person, but it appears like he has, Trump.
Yeah.
But Sanders, on the other hand, actually has policies like he wants to change. So there's like, whether he agrees with Andrew Yang's universal basic income, I think he likes it, but he's not like, that's not his platform. It's like he's thinking of the average person,
Bernie's platform is give everybody everything.
Give everybody lots of stuff.
Is that a thing to give people? Give it to them then. Like that's like as soon as he finds out about it, yes, everybody should have pizza on Fridays. Like that's the thing, man. Like I like the guy, but it's like, dude,
yeah, how do you pay for
this
that?
free? Everybody gets free post-secondary education. It's garbage. I don't even like it. It's not even that I don't think it could work, because I don't think it could work.
Right.
But I don't like it because it doesn't. How many people do you know, like seriously know, that went to school and didn't use their school, right? And
right.
And changed their major a bunch of times. They could have been a doctor or whatever. Right. The amount of time they went to school, they didn't use it for anything because society tells people, go to school, just go to school, go to school. That's what you need to do. I don't want to be paying for that. I don't want other people paying for some kid to go there and not like, I think that like, okay, I can agree with Bernie on this. Corporations need to pay their fair share of taxes. Specifically corporations. They find ways to pay nothing in taxes.
Yeah.
I think that rich people do pay taxes. This idea that they don't is a myth that needs to stop getting thrown out there. I don't think there's anything wrong with somebody being a billionaire inherently. I don't know why this is this weird class fight. Like, I'm not saying that billionaires couldn't do a little bit more to make themselves look nicer and do other things. But just because you are a billionaire doesn't make you inherently wrong. How did you make that $1 billion? If you made it by doing terrible things,
if you're selling OxyContin and opioids, then you probably should.
Or even if you found a way to lobby people so that you could dump your waste into people's water supply and that made you rich. That's a terrible thing.
If you're a self-made billionaire because you created a product that the entire world uses, and you're
Bill Gates, and then getting mad at Apple. It's like, dude, you can't tweet about how terrible Apple is on your iPhone. Like, stop it.
You're proving the market right there.
Stop this unnecessary purity test that exists now, unpassable purity test of these people putting out this level of like, you have to be this good of a human being or you are garbage, and no one can pass the test, not even the people themselves. Bernie Sanders has 3 homes. He has 3 homes.
Yeah, he's a millionaire.
The guy could, put your money where your mouth is. Sell 2 of your homes and actually downgrade from your nice home into a regular home. Put all that money out into affordable housing for the people that you can just help with your money. If we're talking about what these billionaires should do, then you do it first.
That's why I liked Ron Paul, man. He spoke all that, and he's been saying the same thing for 40, 50 years as well, and he wasn't a millionaire. So he was the most unsuccessful congressman, I'm pretty sure, because, he lived his word, right? He was a libertarian. He just believed that
that guy probably sucked at parties, right? Like, he just... He probably couldn't rub elbows, and then he's just like, I don't know.
What do you think backs the dollar? Let's get into a 4-hour conversation about intrinsic value.
I'm talking about what backs the dollar. He doesn't even know how this works over here.
I'd like to have that conversation with him, but I'm sure most people wouldn't.
Yeah.
Ron Paul tweets about Bitcoin.
Of course. I'm sure he does.
Yeah. Andrew Yang was a big supporter of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Even Bloomberg has some... He's been talking a little bit about Bitcoin, but not too much.
Well, he's old money, right? It doesn't matter to him anymore.
Yeah, he's talking about regulations. Like, we got to have better regulations, which is true. The regulations for cryptocurrencies it's untenable right now.
Okay.
It's hard to want to spend Bitcoin when you're going to be charged capital gains tax. If you want to go buy a coffee, you're going to have to do an accounting calculation on how much capital gains tax do I have to pay for this coffee. So it's just kind of silly. There's a lot of dumb things being applied to cryptocurrency and Bitcoin right now. And Trump's actually negative on Bitcoin. He tweeted that Bitcoin is a threat to the U.S.
Well, impeach him for that, Brad.
Security. Exactly.
Impeach him
That's
for
what
that.
I'm saying. There's so many things we can go after Trump for.
Imagine that was
he was against Bitcoin. No, Trump definitely says stupid things, and he's incendiary and but I take devil's advocate on there because I feel like it's like a pill to give people that you should question everything the CIA, FBI, NSA, MSNBC, CNN, all these companies say, and all these corporations and whatever. Question it all and really look at it from, it's all the same party really. the DNC and the Republicans are like they're pretty much donated by the same people, same companies. They donate to both parties.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it's a Republican or Democrat, they have favorable laws written for them. And
what's fun about it now is all of them have become so partisan, so that you can watch CNN or MSNBC, and then you can watch Fox News, right?
Oh, it's a different world.
And you watch their narrative, and you watch their like a Sean Hannity narrative, and it's almost about like who is stretching everything to like when you hear the narrative, how stretched is it to go like, well, that person's doing a way bigger job doing backflips.
Well, that's what I saw when I saw this news yesterday come out about Assange with the cover-up. I'm like, it's not a cover-up. Assange,
you know what? I honestly apologize for not reading. I should have read into, knowing that we were talking today. I should have read into it more, because what happened was it came up and I was like, oh, that's interesting, and I didn't see it, and I actually kept like checking different news feeds. I was like, why is this not coming up? Like, why?
Well, it'll be all over the news probably in the next couple of days or all over the week.
You would have thought it would have been yesterday. Like it came up for a second, disappeared. As far as I can
but
tell.
It's like the narrative is clear. They want to build this narrative that Trump is doing illegal things, and they're going to throw Assange under the bus and say, oh, well, he must be helping Russia because Russia helped Trump get elected, so Julian Assange is bad. When really it was like we all should owe a lot of like gratitude for Julian Assange for giving up his life, basically, for releasing this crazy information about all the insane things and torture programs and all the stuff that the U.S. was doing. And he released bad stuff on Trump, too. He released like bad stuff on Republicans and like bad stuff on Putin. Like nobody likes WikiLeaks right now that's in power. Like the billionaire class does not like him. So it makes sense that they're going to like want to slander Julian Assange when really he's fighting for freedom of speech, freedom of information, and like we should all be thankful for him and like
I was more thankful for him at one point in time.
Well, that's because he got mixed in with this Russiagate thing and everybody started associating him with like helping Putin defeat, elect Trump, and that like everybody turned on him at that point.
Right.
Which was totally unfair.
Right. Well,
that's the way that they propagandize, and it's effective.
I'll still look into it more because there were prominent people who came out and basically said that Julian Assange did work as a propagandist for.
Yeah, because they want to push this narrative.
Right. But without saying that, because I don't know how true that it's just pushing the narrative versus some of the facts that.
He's released information on Russia. He's released information on like even the country where he was Ecuador, I think it was, where he was staying. He released information on them, and then they gave him away, basically.
Well, they gave him away also because he was like skateboarding in the hallways and it was a pig.
Oh yeah, he was a bad roommate.
He was a pig. Do you hear about that though? He's like,
I think you told me about it last time.
Skateboarding in the hallways. Because I guess this was around the last time we talked. He was kicked out around then. Yeah, he was skateboarding in the hallways and just dirty. Apparently, like didn't bathe a lot and just left shit all over the place.
Yeah, but it was because he released corruption stuff on Ecuador, and like they didn't like that, so they were like, all right, since he's a bad roommate, we'll kick him out.
Yeah.
But
I don't think that's why they kicked him out. I think that was just, but I believe that story because I'm like, why even release that? Like, because it wasn't. They were like, we're kicking him out because he's dirty. So
to wrap up that other thing about the election, because they tricked everybody into thinking Hillary was going to win. They made everybody believe it, and then most people don't want to vote anyway, so they're thinking like, why am I going to go out and vote? Hillary's going to win for sure. So all the rabid Trump supporters outnumbered the rabid Hillary supporters, and the majority of people are actually the ones that stayed home. So now we've seen 4 years of Trump, and people for the most part don't like Trump. Mm-hmm. I don't like Trump. You don't like Trump. Mm-hmm. Most people don't like Trump.
Right.
But most people also think Russiagate was bullshit, and Ukrainegate was bullshit, and impeachment was bullshit. Well, most people think that, but I think the fact that they don't like Trump more is going to incentivize people to come out and vote for someone else, even if it's Bernie.
I think most people think Russiagate was bullshit. I do think that the overwhelming majority of people were tired of that. I think it's still like the Ukraine. I think it's like 50-50.
Well, yeah,
and
sure.
And I think more people did want to hear from witnesses. Like I think that was an overwhelming poll.
I'd say that's like the 1% of like political pundits and watchers and reporters and stuff. Maybe because I mean I'm pretty into this stuff. Whenever I can, I read a little bit about it and I follow it. I never even knew that part of it.
Knew what part?
That there was what you said about Bolton and like the testimonies were delayed and all this stuff. I just pretty much tuned out after I heard about after I saw the ambassador speak and talk about how it was all just hearsay and how the whistleblower was a CIA agent who went back to work for the CIA afterwards and he didn't even hear it. Like after I heard about all that, I was like, where's your bombshell evidence? It's all just hearsay. And after that, I was just checked out of it.
Well, I was
like, I knew it wasn't.
I listened to the hearing, so I listened to the testimony and the questions.
Yeah,
and
so you were really into it,
super into it. Yeah. I had because I listened to it on CNN, but I listened to just the live hearings without the punditry involved or anything.
Yeah,
so I just heard the hearings, and so I was into it, and I thought the Democrats were. Honestly, I thought the Democrats made a better case than the Republicans. The Republicans were just stalwart enough. We knew when it got to the Senate, nothing was going to happen. But because the Republicans' main defense was this whole thing is ridiculous, and it's like that's not a good counter argument. If somebody's like, we think he did these things, and these are our witnesses that are testifying that he did these things, you can't go, well, this is ridiculous, this is stupid.
Well, clearly you can.
Well, they did it. Well, yeah, I know, but I'm saying to me that argument is bad, and to me made.
Well, there was a better argument for it. The better argument I heard was that. This is a precedent that you don't want to set because then any president in the future will be partisanly impeached because of any little thing that they say.
Right, and you know what? That is going to happen. And if President Sanders gets caught on a phone call with, I guess, Venezuela, because he's a commie. I love just calling people he's in
a red bastard.
Yeah, he's calling Venezuela and he's like, get me some dirt on Donald Trump Jr., my potential person I'm going to run against in 2024.
Yeah.
I'd be like, or we're not giving
you know what,
aid. I'd be like, you know what? Yeah, fuck that guy.
I don't think he would say... I do think he's a better person than Donald Trump, for sure.
Yeah.
I think Donald Trump is better for the general economy, but I think, as a person, for sure, I'd rather see Bernie Sanders be an example to the world. You don't know how he's going to stand up, though, against, like you said, when they get in, they show them the sheets and talk about the aliens and how they're ready to attack and all this, or whatever the hell they talk about.
What the first strike? Oh, God.
Space Force.
How many free pizzas do we give people to make that go away? Free school for everyone for strike?
Is he at least, for the free university thing, is he at least trying to overhaul the education system?
That's the thing, dude. It's not just let's give everybody free education. It's why his tuitions, especially in the States, is ridiculously high.
Well, that's the problem. It's too high.
Find a way to...
Same with healthcare. The healthcare costs
down.
are too high. Insurance costs are too high.
Yeah.
Banks get... It's really... The problem is really the bankers. It's the elite 0.1%. It's not the 1% that's the problem. Like, you're talking about people becoming self-made millionaires and billionaires. Yeah, we should aspire to that. We should be inspired by people like Elon Musk and Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. Like, Bill Gates is single-handedly solving, malaria and, trying to solve energy independence and all these great things. We should applaud that. And he's way more efficient with his money than the government is because he made his money himself. So he knows how to value that money. The government is just spending money, creating more money and spending it and giving it to their friends. So it's we should all have those billionaires run the show, really. those wealthy billionaires that are actually good, honest people, but they don't want to be politicians.
Yeah, that's why everybody, Bloomberg and the anti-Bloomberg, a billionaire thinks he can buy his way in, and I loved it because fucking Pete Buttigieg, first of all his donors are billionaires.
Yeah.
And he basically, this is what he said. He thinks he can, just because he's a billionaire, he can just buy his way in at this point. And he didn't have to go out and campaign at all. It's like, yeah, exactly. He didn't have to go and lie to a bunch of people and take their money in order to come and do this. He's just coming in and spending his own money.
Exactly.
Like him or don't, the fact that is a strike against him is ridiculous. I'm self-funded, going to use my money, not going to take money from any donor, so I'm not beholden to anybody. Nobody has to write me a $5 check that could barely afford it just to fund the Buttigieg campaign, right? I'm going to do it myself. Why is that inherently bad?
Yeah, that's wrong.
It's so weird.